today we are doing Calvin's 8-month baby update. I didn't do a 7-month video, but I did put a blog post up if you are interested. And today we'll cover a little bit of stuff about the 7-month update and whatnot. Today he is 1 day over 8 months old. So he's like perfectly 8 months right now. Like I said, I will leave a link down below if you want to check out the blog post on 7 months or anything else mommy related or whatever on the blog. I'll leave links down there like I always do. But today, let's talk a little bit about Mr. Calvin. So I do want to mention a little bit of stuff that happened in the 7-month thing because I didn't do a 7-month update, but he started pulling himself up. He pulled himself up on a laundry basket. I put it in the living room full of clean clothes to be folded on the ground, and I just kind of sat him down next to it, and I went into the kitchen to do something, and when I returned, he was like in the process of pulling himself up, so if I hadn't have been there, he would have like toppled the whole basket on top of himself if I wasn't there at that exact moment that he was pulling himself up on it. And it was just all of a sudden, it was like there was no real notice, like he hadn't been like trying to do that kind of stuff, just all of a sudden he was ready to start pulling himself up on things. In the 7th month, he was trying to escape from his swing, which he still is doing now, just like sitting up instead of leaning back and being a good little baby. He was sick in the 7th month, which was very sucky because, you know, like it's really hard for him to feed when he's sick because he has to drink his food for the most part, you know, so it was hard to see him like not be able to breathe and stuff like that while he was trying to eat and whatnot. Ugh. In the 7th month, he definitely started to get a little bit more distracted during breastfeeding, and he's still that way. If Justin, my husband, makes any kind of noise or anything nearby, he has to immediately unlatch and see what's going on over there. He cannot focus all the time while he's breastfeeding. He also got his very first tooth. He got his 2 bottom teeth. One started 1 day after the other, so we got them both at the same time pretty much. And that was like, I think the very last day of, you know, the 7-month transition. So like when he turned 7 months, he was getting those 2 teeth. And that's pretty much all I have for the 7th month. So for the 8th month, let's see. We've got sleeping through the night. He was doing really good at that. He did like 2 days in a row of sleeping all the way through the night, and then I started talking to Justin. I was like, why don't we just night wean him then? If he's gone a couple days now, let's like really make it a point to try and not feed him anymore overnight. So we have done that. He has only eaten overnight 1 time. I think he was kind of getting a sickness or he was getting a tooth or something, and that a couple weeks back that I fed him overnight because he just would not go down no matter what. So for a few nights there, Justin was helping put him down instead of him seeing me in the middle of the night, you know, being tempted by the boobies and whatnot. So Justin was taking care of it for a few nights, and it really only took like maybe less than a week to get him to start sleeping through the night on his own. After, like I told you guys, he was starting to... Are the lights bugging you? Is that what's wrong? You just woke up. You shouldn't be that tired. So he was starting to sleep through the night, all the way through the night on his own for a few days before we started implementing the night weaning, making him sleep through the night thing. Like I said, he's pulling himself up like crazy now, and he's actually starting to practice like sitting down too. So he'll be like, you know, holding onto the coffee table, and he'll very slowly lean back and plop himself down on the ground. So he's working on sitting down gracefully, not just falling down. He always wants to be held. He is going through maybe a, what do they call it, stranger anxiety or something like that. He's kind of getting that lately. like his grandpa, who he hasn't seen in several weeks, but I mean he's familiar with him, came over today, and he was kind of scared of hanging out with him. He didn't really want to be held by him. And he has started reaching, you know, like not just like wanting to be held and being whiny, but reaching for you, like showing you that he wants you or he wants somebody else, like reaching. When he's holding on to me, he'll reach for Justin and stuff like that. We had to lower down the crib because he is getting up onto everything, so we had to put the crib all the way down low, and it's harder to get him to nap and to sleep when he's kind of tired because he'll pull himself up, and I mean, you can't fall asleep when you're standing up, you know, so he's like so distracted by being up and holding on to the railing and stuff like that that he won't just fall asleep. So it can be more difficult to try and put him down for naps and at bedtime. because he can stand up now and he's like so distracted by that. He's also been army crawling, and the past couple days, just a couple days now, he'll take a lot more steps on both his hands and knees. So for the most part, he likes to army crawl around, but every once in a while you'll catch him taking a few steps. Like, I've seen him go maybe 5 or 6 feet on his actual hands and knees, like, you know, regular traditional crawling for a period or a space, you know. So he's working on fully crawling, but he's not totally there yet. He is starting to eat more chunky food, not just, you know, pureed, super liquidy baby food. For breakfast this morning, we had some quartered grapes, you know, not just cut in half, but like actually quartered up. Some banana and some yogurt for breakfast. So we're working on eating more than just baby puree stuff. And like I was saying about him, it's harder to put him down to sleep because he can stand up and whatnot. I don't know if it's just because he can stand up and he's like being distracted by that, or if he's going through another sleep regression, because he's had a couple. He definitely had one at 4 months, and I feel like he might have had one around 6 months, but it wasn't as bad. And I feel like he might be having another one again where he just is not cool with just going to sleep by himself and being happy to go to sleep by himself. You know, I used to just nurse him and he'd pass out, or even if he didn't pass out, he'd be laying with me and he'd be calm enough to just be laid down in the crib and he would fall asleep by himself. But lately it's becomes a little more difficult. We'll put him in the swing, we'll put him upstairs, we'll try to nurse him, you know, put him back in the swing. You know, we'd have to do several steps these days, the past week or so, because he's just having a tougher time going to bed. And I don't know if that's because of his standing up and he likes to be up and it's hard for him to fall asleep because he's so distracted by everything, or if he's actually having another sleep regression. So yeah, that's about it for Mr. Baby as far as I'm concerned postpartum. I keep thinking I'm gonna get my period and I haven't gotten it back yet. I just keep feeling, you know, PMS symptoms. Like I feel really, you know, pissy and like, you know, agitated and stuff like that really easily. And I'm like, dude, this has to be PMS. My period has to be coming, or I'll just feel, you know, like crampy and stuff. And I just keep thinking it's coming and it's not here yet. So who knows? But I've felt like that since like Christmas time. I just keep feeling like it has to be here any day now. And I'm still in the like 10 pounds till I'm back to where I want to be. I was 127 the day I found out I was pregnant with Mr. Cal, and I want to be at 130, and I'm currently been stuck at 140 for like a really long time now. But I mean, I'm not trying super duper hard to get any further down, but I'm just saying. So yeah, that's about it. Mr. Baby's getting tired. As you can see, he keeps rubbing his eyes. I don't know what his deal is. He might be a little hungry. Are you hungry, baby? Anyway, we will see you guys next time for our next update. At 9 months, we get to go back to the doctor. Oh, I do want to say that according to our measurements, Calvin weighs 23 pounds and he's 28.5 inches tall, I'm pretty sure. So he's a big boy. He's a big old baby. At the next appointment, at our 9-month appointment, I will try really hard to film a video for you guys, but we'll get like the real, you know, doctor approved measurements and all that stuff. So we will see you guys next time. Bye. You say bye, love? Hey, baby.